Hey, how are you doing? Good to have you here. My name is Jeremy, and we're going to dig into two very practical ways to use automation, primarily chatbots, in your service business even today. Now, if you have a chatbot, you can use it right away, but if you don't, we're available to help with pointing you in the right direction or even to creating the bots for you. But with that being said, what I want to do is just give you a couple seconds to get situated, get your notes ready, because I'm going to talk just over the next a couple minutes about two very practical ways when it comes to your service business right today. Okay, so you're a service business or just a business owner in general. Two very practical ways I want to talk about in this video for the next couple minutes are qualifying your prospects, right? And then live events. Now, depending on where you live at, live events may be a little bit, constricted. Regardless, they are still practical, even if you're at a virtual event. I'll show you. We'll talk about that here a little bit more in a second. Now, the two classes of people that we always love to deal with, right, are the tire kickers and the window shoppers. Love them, right? They're the joy of the world. They always haggle. They always ask you for your bottom line price, and no matter what, they're always never happy. And so why waste so much time on the phone with them, right? Sometimes you're just so busy you can't. You can't keep track of everything that's going on. But really quick about my background, so that we know that I'm qualified to talk about this. My name is Jeremy, and for those of you who don't know, my background is what my dad. I started working with him when I was 12. Even though my facial hair is is an embarrassment in general, I promise you, I'm almost 30. But I worked with him when I was since I was 12 years old, and for about 6 years before he passed away when I was 18 years old. He had a tree business and learned a lot of great things with him. But my first venture, we did over $250,000 in real sales. That was in the landscaping, hardscaping industry. And that business is still standing today, having a second generation owned master stonemason still manning the helm of that company. And I've worked with service providers from here and there, far and few in between, depending on what industry it is, but from service providers to coaches to local to enterprise companies. And so with what I'm sharing with you, when it comes to qualifying your prospects, I completely get it because I've been in your shoes. And I'm part owner in different companies as well, so I understand the headache. Now, when it comes down to qualifying prospects, we want to find a way that it works for you and it works for them, right? We don't want to push people away. We don't want them to feel weird, but also too, we want to preserve the heartbeat of the business, which is you. Now when building the automation around your sales script, it's important to know that when a chatbot is built right, it will actually ask questions for you. And this thing lives on your Facebook page. It can be integrated to your website. We recorded another video with that, and that's on the playlist here on the channel. Now, when it comes to different applications in all of your entire marketing systems and everything, recorded a whole other video on that. But imagine the chatbot being able to ask somebody a question, right? Like, hey, welcome to our Facebook page, or welcome, I am your automated assistant. Hey, yeah. Sometimes people immediately think, won't that be weird? The flip side is that they don't feel sold to. And that's what's really cool, because if something is automated that can ask them questions and feel normal, right? And just, of course, not try to pretend to be human. That's just a dead starter out of the gate. The chatbot interacts with them, whether it's on the Facebook page, on Instagram, or on the website, and depending on what channel you build it for, or you have it on, it can greet them, right? Bring you to your service menu. Hey, here's our top 3 things that we always offer. If there's something other or a special project that you have, let us know. But walk them through your questions. And then the best part is that I'm laughing because many people are like, I don't want the Terminator to take over my business. My first business partner was 65 years old, so I've heard it all. So I've been in this game for over 10 years, so I've heard it all. Okay, so it's just really funny because when it comes down to the customer not feeling like they're sold to, and they can get through getting their questions answered very quickly within the matter of like 30 seconds to a minute to a couple minutes, depending on how much information you need prior to them either booking a phone call with you or just calling you, you're able to look at sorry, that's a memo away, but you're able to look at exactly what their needs are, look at their needs, and then even too, when you're on the phone with them, okay, great, thank you, Jonathan, for giving me a call. I see that you have sod installation that you need help with, or that you need a sprinkler system, or you need your house cleaned, or whatever your business is, right? And so you have this information that qualifies people, but even too, if they don't answer the question in a way that brings them into the right bracket, so to speak, then, or puts them in the right bucket, then they're going to be removed and thanked for their time and wish them an awesome day. Pray you have an awesome day. And so that's with I was kind of all over the place with that, but hopefully you kind of see where it applies. When it's on your Facebook page or on your whatever social media channel and your website, it can pop up and say, hey, thank you so much for coming to XYZ Mortgage Company, right? And then be able to ask a couple questions ahead of time. If they don't answer them in a specific way, it'll boot them out. And then that way, anybody who's a tire kicker, a troll, or a window shopper who's not serious, we can make sure that you can. Well, I say we because we're always building bots. So, but you can build the chatbot properly and be able to have it to where it is normal, it's regular, it's easy flowing, along with your sales script. So that way, if they don't answer in the right way, then it can be booted out and wish an awesome day. But then another part, especially for in-person or live events, it's fantastic. We can actually use a QR code, and if you have a business card, or if you have social media content, or like towers at a big stadium event, or if you have like handouts or whatever it is, like if you have handouts for a conference, or if you have you have handouts, or even if you're giving out a business card, you have a giveaway, right? There's so many cool ways to really cut that cake, or so to speak, or to be able to skin the cat, so to speak, and be able to approach it and be able to greet somebody and then have them opt in and give you the information that you need. And then even too, what's neat about events, I freaking love events. I'm so passionate about events, and this goes into, we're about to bleed into just to touch on a little bit of where you can put the chatbot at, right? Because with a QR code or even live events, the QR code works the best. I mean, you can do a text, a keyword into a texting, but even too, if you have an SMS opt-in, like a text opt-in for your event, or if it's a virtual event, you have a text opt-in service, you're going to deliver them, a link to something, or you're going to say, hey, thank you so much. You're going to ask for their email in the text thread if you're using like Twilio or any kind of like community or anything other provider that's like for text, or even heck, if you're using Constant Contact, you still have a message you send out to them that is a link, and we can use a link to pop open the chatbot, walk them through everything, and that works phenomenal for events as well. But even too, a chatbot's not always on Messenger. It can also be as an SMS, as a text chatbot. It's a little bit more complex and a little bit more in depth. But when it comes to using a chatbot, I'll clarify on what I mean by Messenger and SMS in another video. So hold that thought, bookmark it as part of the video, because I know that's going to throw some of you off when you're watching this. So with that being said, you can send them a link, kind of going back with an SMS opt-in. Say, for instance, you have text the keyword, text fund or text awesome to 335050, whatever the number is. And so then, that response can provide a link to go over into the next step of that process, whatever it is. If it's a lead magnet, if it's like an ebook that you have, like if it's a formula or a way, whatever mechanism it is to get them hooked in, and then that way you can stay top of mind with them. What's really cool about the event, you can capture them for a giveaway, right? And then via QR code, via URL, via keyword connected to a link or a QR code. I mean, you can text them via MMS. A QR code, like a photo. They can screenshot it and the link will pop up, whatever. But be able to intertwine with events. However that first step is, you capture the lead, right? Whether it's SMS, through QR code or a link, all three of those, right? But whether it's in all three of those, as far as you get them into the sequence, the first step after that is, what do you want to do afterwards, right? You have all these leads from an event. I mean, heck, we've had, hundreds and hundreds, thousands upon thousands of leads opt in at events, but who cares? right? Who cares? You have an awesome event, you get leads coming in. It's like a church who has an event, they get all the phone numbers and name, email, and phone number of people, and they don't follow up with them. Like, what's the point? What do you? Hey, okay, great. You were popular for a day. Good job. So, but then you got to come up with a plan or a strategy afterwards that would make sense. You're in a room full of people, the old saying, read the room, know your audience, know who you're speaking to, right? Where's their head at, and what can you provide that's going to be the most value to them based on the event? What is the event? What are you doing at the event? What it would be, for if you have a pop-up booth, for example, a giveaway is fantastic. Give away a $25 gift card. So hey, for chance to win, not to opt in and win. No, there's no way. Oh man, talk about going in the red really quick, right? But when it comes to getting a chance to win, fill in the blank kind of prize, then that's what you do. And then afterwards, what do you want that call to action to be? Okay, great. They opted in. Now what? What would be something that would almost ask for the sale or ask them to take the next step that would lead to a sale? You don't have to go straight. Cool. You got a chance to win. Now go buy my stuff. That's really weird. You don't want to do that. If you do, people are like, But the biggest thing is ask a question, right? For instance, we did a baseball stadium. We did whole entire QR code opt-in, and then we asked them if we wanted to pray for them, right? And then, we had over 600 people opt in, and then we prayed for over 180 people during both baseball games. Awesome, right? And then you also have, an event. Say you have a pop-up booth, and you have an e-commerce store. You've got something else going on for your business. If you're at the home show or a trade show, knowing that audience, is it consumer or is it business, right? And so what could you provide that would be optimal value to them, nutshell packaged up so quick, and then it makes them want more, right? Because events are very impulsive, they're very quick. You want to make sure that you capture people's attention, and you do the head jerk, right? You're like, whoa, on my head. That's awesome. You want to get their attention, but with that attention, they're trusting you. Okay, with my attention, what are you going to provide for me? Okay, and there's an exchange, and most people are like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay, we'll get over it and close your business down, because it's pretty much all it is, right? It's an exchange. So when it comes down to grabbing their attention first, right? Whether it's QR code, text message opt-in, or just a link, regardless of, you have to deliver the link via SMS or QR code, whatever. But making sure that you've got a way to get their attention, right? Now that you've got their attention, boom, fantastic. And then one step after that, then that's when you can bring them into an email list, right? Put them on a Facebook custom audience. You got a campaign going. Another idea is to opt them into a postcard campaign. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, birthdays. You'd be surprised. We had a client that was at several events, and they do this frequently. But they brought in over 500 leads per event, nearly. And seriously, they're just bulldozing through. But people are providing their physical address and their birthdays. So don't be afraid to ask. A lot of people are like, would they really provide that? Yeah. If they're getting a chance to win or another chance to win to XYZ, and you can take that birthday with the physical address, don't bombard them, because then you're going to go in the hole as far as postcard costs. You don't want to just, you can if you have the budget, but want to make sure that you have your, everything as far as your numbers all mapped out. So just make sure you're aware of that. But what's really effective is that taking a physical address and that birthday card. And then that's when you really hit home, because you want to make the biggest impact. So heck, take the email, put it on a Facebook custom audience, and then do a retargeting campaign. Beautiful, right? And do it really quick. Do a retargeting campaign via Facebook, or if it's YouTube, or if it's Google, or if it's Pinterest, if it's Instagram, wherever you're the most popular at, okay? Heck, if you're on Clubhouse, right? If you're on Clubhouse and have somebody go to your Instagram profile, do a retargeting campaign. There are platforms that actually help with, as far as, in your inbox, if someone sends you a keyword, that it can pick it up and respond for you, and then put them, take care of the whole entire process. Put them on an email list, and then put them on a retargeting campaign, you name it. So it's really cool to be able to build out a strategy that way. So if you're, if you're always on, if you're networking online, if you're in person, there's different methods on how to do that and approach it. Hopefully this helped clear some things out, or even to give you some ideas. Let me know your feedback in the comments, and look forward to answering any questions you got. And again, hopefully this helps out. My name is Jeremy Winger with WordPress Media, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you have any, if you need any help, there's going to be different links in the description with this video as well. Where we have different, I have ebooks for you to help you understand how to get phone numbers of decision makers, but also too, if you want to look at some testimonials and stories and consider having my team build a chatbot for you, then fantastic. We want to make sure that you are set up for success and really help you, really open up your imagination and understand the real practicalities of automation, so that way you as the business owner can stay operating lean, keep your profit margins healthy, and your overhead low. So this way you don't have to worry about anybody messing up or anything like that. You build it once, it doesn't need a salary, and it definitely doesn't need food as far as the chatbot goes to pre-qualify leads for your appointments, but also too for live events to capture leads and do a follow-up with them as well. So again, hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Look forward to seeing those in there soon.